Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to the Minecraft 2025 Let's Play Adventure, where I love the way the mountains look over there in the distant horizon. We gotta go to those mountains one of these days. Ooh! And that sun coming up and looking so fine! What a wonderful day it is. I don't like the way I said that, though. Like I was attracted to the sun. I assure you I'm not attracted to the sun. Me and the sun, we're friends at best. More like colleagues than anything else. I kind of work under the sun. The sun has the benefit of, you know, having its light fall upon me. We're like equals in this sort of a scenario. I'm trying to figure out if I was going to put a mega structure on the horizon. I wanted to center it up with the sun. It would have to go like right along in there. Although that's weird. That the sun. If I run over here, does the sun not stay centered on me? Oh, weird. If I fly far enough south, do I eventually get to a point where the sun is to the north of me? I mean, that would make it like a real planet, where the sun, you know, if you go further towards the bottom. That can't be real. Hold on, I must be. Maybe I'm not looking dead ahead when I'm over here. Maybe the sun is always slightly off to one side. I can't imagine it being real. Like the further south you go, the further to the north the sun is. That cannot be real. If we go all the way to this side of the island, and we look dead ahead, it's not real. You know what it probably is? It probably is more so that the sun goes at a bit of an angle through the sky. And so it just kind of looks like, yeah, because look, we're standing right here, we're looking dead ahead, and the sun is off to our left. Okay, it was all my imagination, it was all in my head, like so many other things in my life. Isn't that right, Brigadier? I tried so hard to come up with a name for an imaginary person, and Brigadier is what came to mind. That's not a name! That's not a name! Reginald came to mind first. I was like, no, not Reginald. I want like a Brigadier. Well, none of that has anything to do with what we're doing today, folks. Neither me nor Brigadier are looking forward to discussing that. What we're doing today is we're going to be building the enclosures, the proper real enclosures for Janko McJackrabbit and Ash the Ocelot. And we're going to be setting those up, I think, right over here. And where I think I want to put them is, we're going to first off measure out around this thing and place out an even number of blocks in all direction and have this be properly squared off. And in order to do that, we're also going to have to go out this direction further than we've gone before. Which is fine. We've got plenty of sand, and we might end up having to go to the end portal and duplicate more sand, like an inventory worth of sand. I don't know yet, if that's what it comes down to. Although we might actually just not worry about this side for right now, and instead we'll square up these other sides. So what do we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then over here on this side, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, drama. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we either cut this side down by 1, or increase the other two sides by 1. Would we want it to be an odd number? Do we think that it matters that it be an odd or an even number? Not really. It doesn't matter at all. What does matter is that we no longer need this bit here. That bit's going. And then this bit's definitely going. And then the only question is, do we extend that out? Well, here's what I'm thinking, right? The number of incidents that I've seen occur where that guy spawns somewhere other than up there where he's supposed to be spawning and living and dying, has dropped drastically. Very, very drastically, which is good. Which is what we want to see. We don't want him spawning. And that is in spite of the fact that he has access to all of this sand here. So I'm thinking we're good on this side. But this is also further away from where these guys are. You know, there's the whole 3 extra blocks. Who knows if we cut this down, if he might start... I don't know the distance it needs to be. What I'm saying is, we're doing it. We're sending it. Whatever. It's 9 all the way around. There you go. That's finished. And we'll observe kind of as we work to see what happens. Although, actually, I don't think we want to put this back down. I think we actually do want to, like, frame it a little bit with a different type of block. So let's dig all of this up. This is important, okay? Because before we put down the enclosures for our pets, We need to figure out exactly how all of this is going to lay down and work itself out, okay? So let's work on the framing here. Regardless of what happens in this video, regardless of how long it takes to figure all of this out, we're getting this done today. Unless we don't, in which case, comment down below. All thoughts, opinions, and complaints are welcome. Any comment as well. At the end of the day, a comment is a comment, and it drives engagement, and that's all that really matters. We're probably going to need more than this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to have to come back up here and get more of this. I might as well just bring more with me now. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to bring the clutter crate in case we end up with a bunch of clutter. We'll just be ready for it. So we're going to frame all of this in here like this. There we go. Yeah, see, immediately, we're going to need more of these. And then the only issue is if we want to close off this side as well, we're going to have to worry about things spawning on top of these blocks. Unless... Hold on, another idea has just spurred inside of my brilliant mind. We do have to go back inside again. Mushrooms are wandering, they're spreading, which I'm okay with. Stone brick slabs. You see where I'm going with this? Hold on, wait, hold on. Also, more of these. Just get more of them. Preemptively go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine for now. 2, 3, 4. So that will prevent things from spawning on top of there. And if we do it all the way around, it also further helps to separate this area from the rest of the world and really make the villagers feel sort of ostracized, separated, lesser than. Not something we're going for. I'm just stating that, yes, I realize that's an unfortunate side effect. Ooh. What is causing that pink light there? Did y'all see that for like a split second? Was that it filtering through the portal? No shot. Oh, that is too good. That is simply too good. Okay, so here's all of this framed out. Now it's just a matter of filling in the bottom here. And I know that we don't actually have to have this make contact with the seafloor, but I want it to. That matters to me. Leave me be. Let me have my Minecraft. There we go. All right, so this is all sealed away now and sort of definitively mapped out. Speaking of, looking at the map, our island's looking quite different these days. This corner hasn't updated yet. I don't think it updates instantaneously. It might be a minute or so before that actually populates and shows that there's no longer water there, but that's fine. We're not in any kind of rush. Next, we need to figure out where exactly we're going to move the ocelot and the jackrabbit to. Also, we need more dirt, because eventually we're going to have all of this be a path. And what I think we'll probably do is we will actually remove segments of this and have the path cut through. That's okay. We're going to get to that eventually. Right now, we're preparing the way for the road, and we're preparing the way for everything. We're preparing the way for the jackrabbit. Eventually, everything's going to be built up around this, such that it's not such an odd thing just standing out on the island. There's going to be huts and things over there, and houses and skyscrapers. There won't be skyscrapers. We're not about that. But I figure right about here is where we're gonna have the 2 enclosures. And how are we gonna build them? Are we gonna have them be level 2, or should they actually be set maybe below the surface? Like when you go to the zoo and you're kind of standing up looking down at the animals? What if we had them be under, like, not underground, but like a block below the ground? Gotta get the boats out of the way. I'm framing it all up right now with sand, which is not how it's going to stay. But I kind of want to get an idea visually of how this is going to play out. All of the sand being a different color down there keeps causing me to pause and be like, wait a minute, is that suspicious sand? It's not, it's normal sand, it's just in the shadows. It wouldn't make any sense for there to be suspicious sand just here on the beach of my island. That doesn't work. So if we're actually going to frame this thing up properly, the way that it's ultimately going to be, I guess we'll do it in line with this thing. And then at that point, they can't jump over 1.5 blocks, so we don't need any additional fencing or anything, other than to maybe keep the mushrooms out. But, I mean, is it really a bad thing if Ash the Ocelot gets a mushroom? Like, maybe he's hungry. And sure, it's a slightly different issue if it falls in there with Janko McJackrabbit. I don't think Janko is going to eat a mushroom, but I also don't think the mushroom is going to bother Janko. So again, I ask you, is it really that big of an issue? I think not. Also, do I have a crafting table down here? Ow. All of this has got to go. This is all going to get a redesign as well. Everything's going to look very different by the time we're finished with all these little projects. We're completely redesigning the island. Except for everything up top there. Everything up top there is fine. That's staying the way that it is. So here we go. This is where we're going to have our 2 different enclosures. I'm still not sure about putting cacti in one I'm still worried that that might be a bad idea and that could lead to disaster and problems. But I don't know, we'll see. Did I tell you folks the other day, by the way, because I just saw my shadow, have I confessed this yet? That I went third person in between episodes while I was killing creepers, and I came back and I looked at the screen and I thought, oh, that's cool. I didn't know I had a cape. Where'd I get a cape from? What cape is that? Don't say a word, all right? I figured it out eventually. I mean, look, maybe I sat there and stared at it for too long before I figured it out, but I did eventually figure it out all by myself. Thank you very much. So, if we want to decorate one area up like the jungle, things that we will need are, of course, jungle saplings, and I mean, not really anything else. Maybe we'll get some jungle leaves. We'll get some bone meal. We should have some bone meal outside as well. Decorating things up like the desert, though. Why am I looking over here like there's going to be a desert tree chest? I know that there's not. I don't want Jenko to hit a cactus and die. That's my #1 concern. We're going to fly out to the desert and we'll have a look around and see if we can't figure out how a desert should look. But let's actually sleep. We haven't done that in a while. One of the next projects I have planned is lava. We're going to set up a lava dripstone situation because we go through a lot of lava cooking up like meat and ores, and in fact, that wasn't even enough to cook up our lava. We got so much copper. We really need to do more with copper. The creeper egg was cool, but we need to do more. So we do have a desert over here that we can fly to. In fact, it's the desert that Jenko came from all that time ago. So we can go kind of investigate and see if we can't get... You'd like to think the rabbit would know better. It lives in this environment. It's not going to jump up against the cacti, right? Well, we don't know. That's the problem. We're not sure. We'd like to think that, but we just don't know at the end of the day. But flying down here and looking around, it's mostly bushes. It's mostly dead bushes, isn't it? That's the decorating. I think there's more in the new update, 0.25, or 21.5, whatever it is. And whatever it is, there's more. There's not more here right now. You know what I hadn't considered? That's actually a brilliant idea. Cacti inside of a potted, a potted cactus. That doesn't hurt you. That's brilliant. We don't have to steal theirs. We can make our own. I don't think it's called a pot, because that's a different thing. That's a decorated pot. What would you? What do you plant things in? Hold on. Let's look up cactus. Or I guess we could look up potted. No, we can't. That doesn't show up with anything at all. Well, what if we look up cactus? Really? I guess because it's not an item you can hold in your hand. It's an item that gets created in the world when you put down the flower. Is it not just a flower pot? It is. I'm a fool. That's exactly what it is. Add that to our list. Get that out of here. The twisting vines is the kind of vine we need to go find in the nether, by the way. Let's collect some of these. I think we can use silky and they won't break. Well, I was wrong about that. How are you supposed to pick these things up? We have silk touch on the shovel. That ain't it either. Well, I'm running out of ideas here. Let's see what else we've got. Inside of here, we've got velvety, and we've got a netherite hoe. It ain't the hoe. Velvety didn't do nothing. It just destroyed the darn thing. How do you pick up dead bushes? How to pick up dead bushes. Java. Shears! Of course! No, that actually makes a bunch of sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Right there. I was about to ask. There we go. See, because these aren't a renewable resource. There's a set number of them. Once you get rid of all... Like, if you just keep breaking them, once you get rid of them all, you'll never get more dead bushes. What do I want to do? About a dozen of them? Well, I'll tell you what. You know what's a more Minecrafty number is 16. So we'll do 16 of them. Perfect. Also, I'm going to steal this potted cactus. Sorry, it's just a weird place to have it. It's just sitting out in the open. It makes no sense. Okay, clearly you don't actually need it. If you're just going to leave it outside. What are you doing here, man? You're doing a good job defending the village? You taking care of everybody? That's good. It's good to hear. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a chimney spout or something? Okay. Gonna fly home now. This was fun. This was a good time. Look at them in there. Look at them all living their life. How beautiful is that? What a beautiful sight to behold. Pretty soon here, we're gonna go over there and, like, you know, summon pillagers to attack that village, or to attack the estate, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be wonderful. Coming in hot, boys! goodness me. So let's get to decorating. I guess this one will be the desert one. Literally, the reason for that is that this one has a bit of dirt in it, and this one doesn't, therefore desert. That's the extent of the thought that I put into it. Part of me does want to find out whether or not we can just full-on put a cactus in there. I don't want to risk it, though. What if we just put it in the corner here? And then maybe on this side, opposing, we just have that. And then we put down the dead bushes, like so. There we go. Assorted dead bushes. Looking good. I didn't mean to do that. That one's gone forever now. Again, I've ruined it. Cool. Okay. Let's get Jenko over here. Sorry, yeah. Alright, Jenko. Sorry that I've kept you inside of here for so long. In fact, you've probably preferred it, haven't you, for being honest? You don't have to worry about the rain. Oh yeah, we didn't build them like little houses or anything for them to hide in when it rains. Well, they don't have little houses to hide in out in nature either, now that I think about it. They just kind of deal with it. Let me get a bare hand to right-click you with. I don't want things to, you know, go downhill in a hurry. Let's see if we can shoo him towards the cactus and see if he jumps into it. Doesn't look like he does. I guess I could just ask Grok real quick. In Minecraft, will rabbits damage themselves on cacti? In Minecraft, rabbits do not intentionally damage themselves on cacti. They're a passive mob that hop around and avoid obstacles in their path, including cacti. They don't have a behavior that causes them to deliberately run into or interact with cacti in a way that would harm them. However, if a rabbit is pushed or accidentally knocked into a cactus, for example by a player, another mob, or environmental factors like water flow, it will take damage from the cactus just like any other entity. At a rate of 1 heart per half second of contact. They have 3 health points in total, so they can die pretty quick if they start contact. Okay, so what I'm hearing right now is that he shouldn't accidentally throw himself against that cactus, but we're taking a bit of a risk having it in there, and maybe we ought to get rid of it. Now what about this? Can he jump on top of this and then jump over the edge? Maybe. Maybe. Let's actually move that. We're going to move that. We're not going to get rid of it. We're just going to move it like 1 block further in. Well, now it just looks silly right there. It really does just look silly. Let's break it. We're gonna put it back where we initially had it, and we're just gonna see if he he might not even figure that out. The odds of him doing the math necessary to figure out that that's even an option is pretty slim. All right, Jenko, you're free. We got to do this side up now. We got to get rid of all this sand and replace it with dirt. Or I guess we have some grass in our inventory. We can use that as well. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait on the grass to grow now, which is going to take time. I guess I should sleep because doesn't it do it faster during the day, or does it not do it at all at night? I can't remember. We looked this up when we did 1 live stream of this Sky Challenge map. That was a ton of fun, and then I just got distracted with other games. It's a problem. Do we need to give them water? It just occurred to me that they might need water to survive. Maybe we should give them water. I know they don't actually drink water, so this is sort of a silly waste of time, but I like the idea of giving them water. There you go, there's their water. Now that raises the question of, well, what about shelter for when it rains? I'm not sure how to build shelter such that they can sort of... Also, they don't care. Wait, did he just take damage? That sounded like a rabbit that just took damage. Did you take damage? Okay, Jenko. Alright, cactus is going away. Cactus is gone. No more cactus. We'll get a couple more pots, and we'll do that instead. But we all heard the little... We're not letting that happen again. There you go. We'll add a couple more flower pots. There we go. Stick that there. And then we'll stick one right there. There we go. I'm wondering if we can put these inside of pots as well. That would be silly. That would be way too many pots, right? So this is good. This'll do. We need to try to heal him as well. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Didn't he already have damage on him? Oh my gosh, that's right! We might have completely imagined that he just took damage on that cactus. We might have completely just imagined that. Because as I remember it, he already had some damage on him. We're gonna see if we can repair him anyway. We're gonna try this one more time. We tried it in a previous video and it didn't work! So he just has this... Or he took another half a heart, but I don't know. I don't know, folks. It sounded like a squeal of pain. Let's give this another go. So he's right there. Chase him into this corner if we can. I want to see him stop moving. Okay, he got half a heart out of that. All right, that's something. That's something. Having to get a second one and do it again? Seems a bit much. How are we going to do this? Should we just try to plant a jungle tree and see how it grows and how it looks? If it's a bit too much, though, which is my only concern, no, that's fine. We can add some vines if we wanted to. If I place one of these down, and then I right-click it with shears? No, I was going to say, will that prevent it from growing? Because if so, that would be fantastic. Now, the ash can, like, hide in the shade. I need to stop worrying about it. The rabbit's not going to care if it gets rained on. It's not a real rabbit. All right? It's just not a real rabbit. We need to not worry about it. All right. That's great. I'm glad that it didn't grow such that it melded with the other tree. This is perfect. We're building up the jungle environment just like Ash remembers. And now we add the bushes. And the thing is, they all have to be tall enough that Ash won't be able to climb on top of them and escape. So that one's not going to be able to stay there. And then we want to add some tall grass for Ash to skulk around in. No flowers. I'm going to make another pot because I want to put a sapling in the pot and just see how that looks, see how that turns out. So what I can do is I can right-click with the shears. Oh, that doesn't work. I thought if you right-clicked with shears, it would prevent... Maybe not when they're attached to a tree. Maybe when they're free-falling? I thought right-clicking would cause them to not grow anymore. Can I right-click? Hold on. We need to make it grow some. Darn you! Forget the vines! Or don't forget the vines. We will put them on the tree, and we'll just kind of see what happens. And finally, pot with sapling. Because why not? And then also it looks like we have had some more of the grass grow in. Nope. No flowers. Ash me boogie. Come here. Have I got some news for you? You see how careful I'm being to not accidentally hit Ash with the axe? Because of reasons. Hop on over. You're gonna love it here, my guy. You're gonna absolutely love it here. Welcome to your new forever home. We got Ash the Ocelot hanging out in the bushes, absolutely loving it. And we've got Janko McJackrabbit hopping around with the type of cacti that cannot, definitively we have determined, hurt Ash. Just to be on the safe side. Ash should be safe here. Can I get up top somewhere to, like, get a really good look? I'm hopping around. Any of these freeze frames would make great thumbnails. Well, none of the frames are frozen. What I mean is that I can freeze any of the frames in Final Cut on the timeline and then export the picture. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm literally just trying to make sure that I can get a good shot. Yep. There you go, folks. Finally. We've made them the homes they've deserved since, well, February, I think. If you would also like to have a little enclosure with some type of animal named after you, that would be the gold tier in the Spelunking Squad. That's just what we call our channel memberships. Consider supporting if you'd like. But now, there's nothing stopping me from demoing the rest of this wall and finishing up the barn. And the next time, ooh, what are we going to do next time? Are we going to do the lava situation? Maybe. Are we going to move the cows in and do the automated cow farm? Maybe. All I know right now is that we have a place for Ash the Ocelot, and we have a place for Janko McJackrabbit. Nice. Till next time, thank you folks for watching. God bless you. We'll see you later. Goodbye!